Hey everyone, hope you all have a happy Halloween and safe one. Check your candy. Couple things here I wanted to talk about real quick. One is sadly Ted White passed away, as I'm sure many of you know, since you probably wouldn't be checking on this if you weren't a fan of horror films, etc., or autographs. Then the other thing was I, I'm not even going to get into Halloween ends because I don't review Lifetime movies. Um, I mean that was just bad, but to me that's the perfect example of a movie and a series in this case that the first one succeeds so well that they demand sequels, and the sequels they had no idea where they were going to go or what they were going to do, despite what he says. It was like, okay, we're just going to do this, and throw in some kills in the second one, and which I thought was really awful, because Evil didn't die tonight. In fact, Evil make it with Halloween Ends. Evil made me throw up. Um, I'll never watch it again. I'm sure twice was enough, and actually twice was too many. And the other one that I want to talk about is, you know, there's been so many people who hated, excuse me, Rob Zombie Halloween 2, which I loved. I thought it was the perfect example of a psychological breakdown, as it were. And a lot of the hate that I read and heard about and talked to people about had to do with the ghosts, if you will, the horse, Michael's mom, the ending, etc., etc. Which to me again it was I loved it. I thought it was great. Now we get to Terrifier 2, right? Which people are loving, and I've questioned several people about it, going, "Yeah, but you hated Halloween 2 because of the ghosts," and they're going, "Yeah." So what? Why would you like Terrifier 2? I mean, there's one, it's over 2 hours long, which it should have been maybe an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. There was a lot of things that were just fluff. And I think a lot of that was done because they had to put people who gave them money into the movie, in crowd scenes and so forth, like the disco and whatever. But all in all, there was no story. It was just one FX scene after another, which I applaud them. I thought the gore and the FX scenes were incredibly good. They did a great job. I mean, pretty much. I mean, one here and there, but so what? Um, but you know, overall, we had a ghost girl who was a ghost girl. Then she wasn't a ghost girl. Then she was. Then she wasn't. It was like, what the hell is that? I mean, that was just ridiculous and made no sense whatsoever, as did where we went with the story, if you want to call it that. I say it didn't have a story. I think it was just set pieces of, let's rip somebody apart or rip their brains out or let's poke their eyes out. Let's, on and on and on. And I was very disappointed. And being a backer of the film and put out a good chunk of change, it was like, I won't do it again. He's already talking about, oh, I have this idea for three that's going to be it's so long that I'm going to make two movies, probably 3 and 4. And it's like, I'll pass. Because again, what are we looking at? We're looking at probably somebody who doesn't really have a plan, but they made so much money off of that film. And and people call it the best ever, the greatest. Oh, blah blah blah, which I've heard before. I heard that about Serbian film, which should never be in a theater, no matter what. I don't think. But what happened to stories? I mean, people don't care about it anymore. They all they care about is can we get some eye jabs and some gut wrenching, disembowelments? And when I read that, oh, this guy passed out or this happened at a theater, I call bullshit. If they did, they had no business being there because, again, they were probably only Lifetime movie fans because I didn't see anything there. I mean, I love things like Dawn of the Dead, right? The original Romero. Actually, I liked them both. Zach did a great job with the remake, and there was some really gross outs there but they were warranted. They were within the frame of the story, and people don't care about stories anymore. All they want is the gore, and it's been proven time and time and time again. And I think that again, Rob had an idea and he knew what he wanted to do as far as this psychological horror that he went towards. And I think that he pulled it off very well. And I know a lot of people hate him. And to me, it's just they hate him because other people like him and on it goes. But that his two films by far beats Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends by miles and miles, in my opinion. Again, it's my opinion. You're allowed your own. But it was also, the story was far better than Terrifier 2, which is sad because I really, 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 really wanted to like that film and was so disappointed. But anyway, there you go. That's my opinion. And, I don't know if you have seen it or not. People are saying I've been lying because I don't have Terrifier 2 on Blu-ray. There it is. In fact, I have two copies because one copy came with the original film, which I really, really liked, obviously, since I would put money into the second one. And it's got the two boxed together. Then I have this copy that I guess that I was stupid and thought that it was going to be a good film. But and yes, they come from Europe. Yes, they're region B, which means they won't play on your typical DVD player that you get, Blu-ray that you get from Best Buy or whoever you're dealing with. You need to get an all region. 220 Electronics carries them. You can find them on eBay, blah, blah, blah. And I've got one. Actually, I'm on my second one. I've had one for years and years and years because the fact that you could get stuff in Europe that you couldn't get here, plus sometimes it's a different cut. On and on it goes. But when you can get stuff, Rabid by the Soska sisters, which is a fabulous film, loved it, was out about 2.5, maybe 3 months before it came out here on Blu-ray. As of my understanding is now they've moved up Terrifier 2's release date on Blu-ray to sometime in December. To me, good for them. And again, good for them that they're making some money. But, I would hope that they'd take a step back and say, hey, you know what? Let's do something story-wise and explain things and not have these weird, none of it made sense to me. That, the whole ending with the birthing scene, that was just ridiculous, I thought. And it really bothers me that no one hardly gives thought to storytelling anymore. There you go. That's my opinion. Again, my opinion. I'm sure I'll take some heat for it. I had some guy who had to send me a note going, oh, it's an old guy watching a great movie. Number one, well, what are you doing? Don't be an ass. I mean, yeah, he's blocked. Maybe he needs to get out of his mommy's basement and do real life. I don't know what his point was, and it's not a great movie. So there you go. Anyway, people have a safe Halloween. Reagan and I will be checking things out for you. So have a great one, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon because there's plenty of stuff that's coming out. And you know me, I'm opinionated, right? Who told you? All right, take care, guys.